The Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security testified in front of Congress, and boy, she has some interesting and amusing excuses for Donald Trump's behavior. Her name is Kirstjen Nielsen, and she was questioned by a lot of the senators, many of whom were frustrated. Let's start with Dick Durbin, who was in the infamous meeting where Donald Trump made the shithole comments, and Durbin is the one who actually called him out on in the first place, where the president called Haiti, some Latin American countries, and all of the African countries shitholes. So here's the exchange back and forth.
What do you remember the president saying about immigration from African countries to the United States?
What I heard him saying was that he'd like to move away from a country-based quota system to a merit-based system. So it shouldn't matter where you're from, it should matter what you can contribute to the United States.
How did he characterize those countries in Africa?
I don't specifically remember a categorization of countries in Africa. I think what he was saying is, as far as best I could tell, and as you know, there were about a dozen people in the room, there were a lot of cross conversations, there was a lot of rough talk by a lot of people in the room. But what I understood him to be saying is, let's move away from the countries and let's look at the individual and make sure that those we bring here can contribute to our society.
What I understood him to be saying, not what he said, what I understood him to be saying is, let's look away from the countries and look at the individuals. But he didn't actually say that at all. In fact, he said the opposite. He said, why are we letting these countries in, which he described as shithole countries? And he said about the Haitians, take them out. He said, why don't we let people from Norway in? But that's not person-based, and that's not merit-based, as she said. That's country-based. I like Norwegians. I don't like these other countries. Let's let those guys in. Fairly clear. She said, I don't specifically remember what he said when he was talking his rough talk. Now you know the excuse they're using, right? Well, the president didn't necessarily say shithole, so that's why it's fake news. He might have just said shit house. Oh my God, why didn't you say that from the beginning? Well, that sounds lovely. All right, more of this nonsense.
Do you remember the president saying expressly, I want more Europeans, why can't we have more immigrants from Norway?
I do remember him asking about the concept of underrepresented countries as a fix. This was in the conversation about removing the diversity lottery and how we could reallocate that. And I do remember him asking, if we do that and we then assign those to countries that are unrepresented, aren't we just continuing non-merit-based immigration?
So the last part is what gets under my skin. So underrepresented countries. Well, look, part of the reason that, and Norway does have far greater wealth than, for example, Haiti. That's of course true, right? But part of the reason we don't have as much immigrants coming in from Norway is because they have much greater wealth. They're doing fine in Norway. In fact, they've got universal health care. They've got a much more progressive government. They're generally way happier than here. That's based on actual studies. And Northern European countries are generally pretty happy. They're also overall astoundingly liberal. So they don't want to come here to this draconian system where we have, free market run amok with no regulations, et cetera, and great wealth disparity. That's part of the reason why we're not as happy as Northern Europe. But so it's, when the Irish came over to America, they didn't come over because they're like, hey, you know what? Everything's going great in Ireland. We're all really, really rich. You guys want to leave our mansions and go over to America? No, they had the great potato famine. They were dying and they had to go look for new hope. That's what we were, America, and that's what we have been for immigrants. And if we had stopped them and said, okay, we want a merit-based system. We only want, what merit based on what? The Irish that came in were amazing for America. The Italians that came in that were dirt poor were amazing for America. The Jews and blacks and Latinos and all these different races that have come in have been terrific for America and have built America. A lot of them with their bare hands. And they didn't come because they were already rich. What other merit will you use? Or are you gonna make them take the SATs? What are we doing here, taking an IQ test? We've never done that. Give us your huddled masses. They're coming for a dream and they're hungry. That's why they made America great, because they were hungry to do better. In the case of the Irish, literally, there was a famine going on. So this whole idea of, let's do a merit-based system, it just means let's let rich white people in. It's gross. That's not what America is. We want people who are driven to find a better life and to live the American dream. Okay, so one more from her.
You said on Fox News that the president used strong language. What was that strong language?
Let's see. Strong language. There was. Apologies, I don't remember specific word. What I was struck with, frankly, as I'm sure you were as well, was just the general profanity that was used in the room by almost everyone.
Did you hear me use profanity?
No, sir, neither did I.
Did you hear Senator Graham use profanity?
I did hear tough language from Senator Graham, yes, sir.
What did he say?
He used tough language. He was impassioned. I think he was feeling very strongly about the issue, as was everyone in the room. And to underscore a point, I think he was using some strong language.
Do you recall that the strong language he used repeated exactly what the president had said prior to that?
I remember specific cuss words being used by a variety of members.
Just say it. Just say it. We all know what he said. What does rough talk mean? Right? So again, what's the difference between shithole and shithouse? It doesn't matter. Rough talk isn't like, boy, I am vexed. And it's not, I rough talk him and run him off. Right? Old school TYT reference, yeet, yeet. Okay, so no, that means curse words. Curse words like shithole. Just say, I thought that conservatives were real tough guys. They're like, oh, we're gonna call it like it is. We like Donald Trump because he tells it like it is. He just says it, right? All of a sudden, I guess he's scared. I guess that's your big, bold leader and all of his allies. They're scared. They admit that it was rough talk. So you know that he was cursing. You know he was denigrating them. You know he was putting them down. So I guess they're just too scared to say the actual words. What happened? I thought you guys were tough guys. No. He wants credit from his base, but he doesn't want to alienate everybody else. Oh, that sounds like a standard politician. Interesting. You just watched the video by the Young Turks, home of the revolution. If you'd like to get a lot more than that, get the full show by becoming a member. tytnetwork.com/join.